Here is something nobody talks about at your annual physical, while you're sitting in that exam room, while your doctor is checking your blood pressure and reviewing your labs. Your body is making a quiet trade. It is trading your independence for ease, and it has been making that trade every single day since you turned 60, not because you are lazy, not because you are doing anything wrong, but because of a biological process called sarcopenia that most doctors simply do not have time to explain in a 10-minute appointment. A 2025 study published in the Journal of Gerontology confirmed what researchers have suspected for years. Without resistance, training adults lose up to 5% of their total muscle mass every single decade after 40. By the time most of us reach 70, we have lost the equivalent of an entire major muscle group compared to what we had at 50. And by 80, that loss is not just a physical inconvenience. It is what determines whether we stay in our own home or whether that decision gets made for us. This is the Longevity Report. And today we are covering the 5 reasons why lifting things, heavy things regularly, is the closest thing to a fountain of youth that modern science has ever documented. Before we continue, everything in this video is grounded in peer-reviewed research from Harvard Medical School, the Buck Institute, Stanford University, and the National Institute on Aging, published through 2025 and 2026. This is for educational purposes only. Always consult your physician before beginning any new exercise program. Tell me in the comments, where are you watching from today? I read every single one. Let me give you just 60 seconds of biology, because understanding what actually happens inside aging muscle makes everything else make complete sense. Inside every muscle fiber, we have tiny power generators called mitochondria. When we are young, they are abundant, efficient, and constantly renewing themselves. But 3 things happen after 60 that nobody warns us about. 1. Mitochondrial production slows, dramatically reducing the energy available to our muscle cells. 2. Anabolic resistance develops, meaning our muscles become significantly less responsive to the protein we eat and the signals that normally trigger repair. 3. A hormone called myostatin increases with age, actively suppressing muscle growth and accelerating breakdown. That triple threat is why simply eating more protein or walking more does not stop this process. The only biological signal powerful enough to override all 3 of those mechanisms simultaneously is resistance training. Nothing else in the research comes close. Number 5, the mitochondrial reversal. Most people think muscle is just about how we look or how much we can carry. It is actually our body's battery pack, the source of our energy, our warmth, our cellular vitality. Take a woman I will call Patricia. Patricia was 67 years old, a retired school teacher from suburban Ohio. She walked every single day. She gardened. She stayed active and engaged. By every visible measure, she thought she was fine. But at a routine physical, her doctor ordered a DEXA scan, a body composition test measuring muscle versus fat versus bone. What it showed shocked her entire family. Patricia had the muscle density of a sedentary 80-year-old, not because she was not trying, because walking and gardening simply do not produce the mechanical tension required to wake up the mitochondria inside aging muscle tissue. Research from the Buck Institute confirmed that just 12 weeks of resistance training twice weekly produced a 35% increase in mitochondrial density in adults over 65. We are not just talking about getting stronger, we are talking about re-energizing our cells from the inside out. Number 4, miracle grow for the brain. Here is the connection most people never see coming. We want to protect our memory and our sharpness as we age. We do crosswords, we read, we try to stay mentally active. All of that matters. But when we strain a muscle during resistance training, something extraordinary happens. Our muscles release a protein called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Scientists have called it miracle grow for the brain, and that description is genuinely accurate. BDNF builds new neurons and new neural connections directly inside the hippocampus, our memory and learning center. A 2026 meta-analysis in the British Journal of Sports Medicine reviewed 54 randomized controlled trials involving over 4,000 adults aged 60 and older, and found that resistance training produced greater improvements in memory and cognitive function than aerobic exercise alone. Greater than walking, greater than the activity most doctors recommend first. Our muscles and our brains are running on the same signal. When we train one, we are training both. Number 3, the fall prevention insurance policy. Falls are the leading cause of injury-related death in Americans over 65. Not heart attacks, not strokes, falls. And here is what most people get wrong about why they happen. It is not primarily a balance problem, it is a power problem. When our foot catches on a rug or a curb, our quadriceps and gluteal muscles have a fraction of a second to catch us. If those muscles do not have the power to respond in time, we go down. A 2025 CDC analysis found that structured resistance training in adults over 65 reduced fall incidence by up to 34% over 12 months. That is the difference between a stumble being a scare and a stumble being a surgery. Number 2, the sugar sponge. Our muscles are the largest glucose disposal system in the human body. When we contract a muscle during resistance training, it activates a protein called GLUT4 that pulls glucose directly out of the bloodstream and into the muscle cell, completely independent of insulin. Every squat, every push-up, every resistance band row is lowering our blood sugar through a pathway that does not require our pancreas to do anything at all. A 2026 Stanford study found that adults over 60 with pre-diabetes who performed resistance training twice weekly for 16 weeks showed a 29% improvement in insulin sensitivity, comparable to the most commonly prescribed diabetes prevention medications. No pills, no side effects, just reps. And number 1, the finding that honestly floors us every time we look at the data. Resistance training is the only lifestyle intervention ever documented to measurably slow the biological aging of our DNA. Inside every cell, we have structures called telomeres, the protective caps on the ends of our chromosomes. Think of them like the plastic tips on shoelaces. Every time a cell divides, those telomeres shorten. When they become too short, the cell can no longer replicate properly. Scientists measure telomere length as one of the most accurate indicators of biological age. Not how old our birth certificate says we are, but how old our cells actually are. A landmark 2026 study published in the American Journal of Physiology found that adults over 60 who engaged in regular resistance training had telomeres equivalent to a biological age approximately 8 years younger than their chronological age. 8 years younger, at a cellular level, not from a supplement, not from a medication, from lifting things twice a week. We do not need a gym membership for any of this. We need 20 minutes and twice a week. Chair squats, wall push-ups, resistance band rows, standing calf raises. A set of bands costs under $20. The research does not require more than that to produce every benefit we discussed today. Start there, progress slowly, rest 48 hours between sessions, and always clear any new program with your physician first. If this felt like something that matters, share it with someone who has told themselves it is too late to start. The data says otherwise. Be honest with us in the comments. What is the one thing holding you back from starting? We will be down there reading every single response. Subscribe to the longevity report for science-backed guidance every single week. Take care of your body. It is the only place you have to live.